audience? Any creatives? Any makers? Awesome. So are y'all familiar with SOKO Jewelry and Milano de Rouge? Yeah? So I'm really excited to bring them up on the stage. We're going to learn about the power of collaboration and putting together all those creative minds and endeavors. In this session, we're going to focus on collaboration and partnership, as well as elevating your business to create lasting impact. So I'm excited to bring to the stage our moderator, Ms. Insa Muger from New Voices. Give it up for her, you guys. Give it up. And of course, we're going to bring up brands Milano de Rouge and SOKO Jewelry. Enjoy your panel.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, hey, hey. So I am super excited to host this panel with both Shamika from SOKO and Milan from Milano de Rouge, specifically because I've kind of watched from the first time that you two met in person. So a little background for you all. They met in person at a NASDAQ event where New Voices and Essence Ventures was being featured for the hard work that Richelieu Dennis is doing in the community and investing in brands. So just a clap moment for the partnership and the fact that we've taken that from a moment of just meeting to turning it into a true collaboration. All right, so I want y'all to start out by telling me about this collaboration. What's the name of it? What does it mean? Give us a little background so we're grounded together.
Hey, everybody. So the name of our new collection is the Amani collection, and Amani means peace in Swahili. So I'm so excited to be on stage with Shamika. We started this collaboration. We started working on this collaboration in December of 2023. And the beauty of this collaboration is not only have we built a great partnership, we became friends. We built a sisterhood. And the partnership was so organic. And so we're going to talk about the 4 Ps when it comes to partnership, which is peace, pivoting, purpose,
and profit.
And profit.
That's the big one.
Always profit.
Awesome, awesome. So now that we know the name and the meaning, I think I know a little bit about both of you, but most of them don't. So before we go too far, tell me a little bit about your background stories, about your brand stories, so that we understand who Milan is and who Milano de Rouge is, and the same thing for you, Shamika, and SOKO Jewelry.
Happy to do so. So I'm Shamika. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm gonna try my best to get this out without being too afraid.
You got this, sis.
You got it.
And that's why she's amazing, y'all. Like when I tell you there are so many moments when I'm uncertain or I'm like, Milan, I don't know how to do this. I'm not sure. How do we pull off a photo shoot in a week? She's like, girl, that's light work. I got this. You know what? Don't even worry about it. We'll do this. Watch. And so I really appreciate that about you in all ways. My background is a little bit corporate. So I started at Goldman Sachs as a trader. Then I went to American Express, went to business school at Harvard, got a call from a guy who was building.
Let's stop right there. Because we know that I know both of them. They're not going to give themselves flowers. So we're going to stop and clap that up. Say it again. Where'd you go?
I got my master's degree in business.
And name all the
Harvard
other places
Business
you went
School.
that you worked, because those are great places to have worked in life. Okay, go ahead.
I also went to the University of Pennsylvania and worked at Goldman. But despite all of that corporate experience, the most transformational experience for me was when I got a call about a guy who was building a business out in Long Island. And I remember thinking, I have no interest in shampoo. Met a gentleman by the name of Richelieu Dennis, told him I'd work for him for 6 months, and told him, you know, I'm gonna leave, so I'll give you 6 months. And 7 years later, was still working for him as he built Shea Moisture and Sundial brands into one of the largest hair care, skin care brands, and not just in terms of the Black audience, but overall. So I learned a lot working at his foot for 8 years, and it was an incredible experience. And I got a call one day, and he said, hey, I'm looking at a jewelry company. And I'm like, okay. And so I got a chance to really get to know the SOKO business. So SOKO in Swahili means market. So when you see SOKO marketplace all around here, it's because what we're doing is thinking about how do we bring brands to manufacture their products on the continent. So SOKO Jewelry in specific, our mission is we bring the global market to Kenyan artisans and Kenyan artisans to the global market. The biggest thing we're trying to prove is that luxury, quality goods can come out of the continent. We have the ability to beat China on time, on quality, and more importantly, all SOKO jewelry is handmade. No factories, no China, completely handmade. So sometimes we talk about being a black business and being black owned, but I'm trying to say that in 2024, that's not enough. Being black owned is one thing, but are your products black made? So when you think about, thank you, baby.
It's a moment.
When you think about circulating the black dollar, the fact that SOKO products are made by Kenyan artisans, we are circulating the dollar globally.
And
that's our mission. That's what we're here for, and that's what we do. And so with Milan, it was an incredible partnership. I want to give Milan a moment to talk about the incredible work that she does.
Yes, give us the background.
Hey everyone, so I am Milan Harris. I am the CEO and founder of Milano di Rouge. Milano di Rouge is a unisex lifestyle clothing brand. I started Milano di Rouge in 2012 with 2 sweatshirts. I wore one and I sold the other one. And I would drive around Philly making deliveries out the trunk of my car. Today we have over 80 million in sales. So my mission with Milano di Rouge is to inspire dreamers to never stop dreaming. I did this with limited resources and not a lot of money. I just reinvested back into my stuff. And when I heard about SOKO, it was very inspiring to me because as I was learning about it, I was learning about what they were doing for the artisans. So not only are they paying them well, they're building villages, they're getting life insurance, they're really changing the trajectory of the artisan's life. So I was really inspired and excited when they asked me to do this partnership.
I'm gonna take a two-second pause. Tell us about the ways you're changing people's lives as well, because you go a little bit further with some of the things you do and have been putting on shows and holding your community down for a while. So give us a few seconds on that.
So anything I can do to inspire someone else, that's my goal. I come from the hood. I come from West Philadelphia. And a lot of the things, shout out to Philly, I didn't have the privilege of seeing a lot of things when I grew up. So once I got on Instagram, I was inspired by seeing the girl bosses that was buying the cars and that was living in their mansions and that was doing this on their own dime. I just thought that they work hard. And I'm like, okay, if they did it, I can do it too. What's stopping me? The only thing that's stopping me is me. So one of the things that Enzo wanted me to bring up was every year I've had a fashion show. And I didn't wait for no one to validate me with these shows. I don't get press coverage with these shows. I do these, I pay my own money for the shows, and I just do it because I believe in myself. I validated myself, and every year they have grown bigger and bigger and bigger. So I wanted to share that with you because I don't want you to wait for someone to validate your existence. You validate your own stuff and just continue to grow as you go.
I also want to just highlight the fact that Milan does her shows every year. She also has community portions that are part of her shows.
Exactly.
And when you think about it, a lot of people may say, like I remember at one point you were like, oh, you know, I'm just kind of figuring it out. But I want to reiterate that she just said her business has done $80 million direct to consumer, no retail.
No retail.
That is incredible for any business of any size. Like I want us to really take a moment, and part of her success is because how many of you guys follow Milan on social? So you all know she is a marketing powerhouse. She's putting out 10 carousels a day, 14 videos. Like, I mean, the work that you do is incredible, but I think why it's really powerful is it is authentically you. And that, I think, speaks volumes to your success.
Thank you. I feel like it's so important to, when you are partnering with someone, make sure that the relationship is authentic. Make sure that you guys have a mutual interest. When me and SOKO partnered, the first word that I heard was SOKO is all about the journey. And so is Milano di Rouge. And we were already aligned when they first mentioned it. I'm like, wow, like God put us in this position for a reason. So it's definitely important to align with people that's authentic to you and that's authentic to your brand as well. And I hear a lot of people talking about like being authentic. Don't get confused with being real and unprofessional. Like authenticity, you can be professional and authentic. Our partnership worked because we both value each other's time. We're both professionals. So we show up as professionals and we are authentically us.
I think it's also because there's not a lot of spaces where, I mean, maybe you guys have had different experiences, but I often feel there are not a lot of partnerships where I can be vulnerable and where I can say, you know what, girl, I don't know how to do that. Yeah. I don't know if we can do that, but can we figure it out together? So case in point, We would ship product. Our products are handmade in Nairobi. For the Amani collection, we shipped the product direct from Nairobi for this show. And we were watching the product every single day, like, okay, it's landed. Okay, it's cleared customs. Okay, we're good. And then we got an email that said, the Fish and Kill Wildlife Conservation Group has pulled our product and has decided that we were randomly selected for inspection.
This week, y'all, this week.
That was 2 days ago. So things happen. So then I've got to call Milan and say, I know we were gonna have the product here, but it's now been pulled by customs randomly. That's a conversation that, and when I said it, I was like, yo, I'm so sorry. Like, we planned everything out. We had it down. Like, we knew when it was gonna clear customs. We had everybody waiting. And I had to say, yo, I'm really sorry that the product didn't get here in time for festival. And Milan said the most powerful thing back. Because I was like, well, you know, if you don't want to do the panel, you know, I kind of understand. And she said, what? She said, no. This is bigger than us having product on a shelf in a booth. And what she said was, we'll be good. It's okay. And sometimes when you partner with somebody, those moments can be very tough. When you have to go and say, things were beyond our control, something messed up. And when your partner comes back and says, don't worry, we'll figure it out, we got this, I literally looked at the phone and was like, that's why she's so dope.
Thank you.
So I think we've heard communication, we've heard collaboration, we've heard vulnerability, we've heard overcoming challenges together. What would you say is the thing that you want to make sure we all take away from this as kind of the key to your lasting and impactful partnership amongst each other? Something that we can all tactically go do to start partnering with one another.
I think partnerships can be interesting. If anyone in here owns a small business and you've tried to work with creators, you know how much of a challenge it can be. You know how it is. I see the hands. You know how it is when you get the rate cards back and someone says, it's $25,000 for an Instagram story. And you're like, what? You're like, oh, we can't afford that. What's incredible is with Milan, we were so aligned from the beginning that it was never about, and I was kind of nervous because I was like, yo, she has a lot of followers. She's done 80 million. I'm like, her team's going to hit me with a rate card that's crazy. And she was just like, nah, this is bigger than us. We're doing this so that we are impacting lives globally. We are impacting the artisans we work with so that they can build homes and buy real estate, send their children to school. It was never about a rate card. And so that, to me, is what I think makes a big difference. If your interests are not aligned, everything else is rocky. So anytime someone sends SOKO something, they're like, we want to collaborate. Here's my rate card. I'm like, that's cool and all, but your posts don't equal my profits.
Absolutely not.
So I can't do it. And a lot of times I have to say no. Yeah. But I'm thankful that with Milan, she was like, yo, let's do this meaningfully, and we'll figure out a way to make the partnership profitable for both of us.
Yeah. So I think something we've often heard is if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And so we really have to remember that as a community, not just in a metaphoric sense, but in a literal sense. I hear we need our passports and visas. What should we be getting ready for, ladies? I hear we got to go somewhere. Where are we going?
So we are going to Kenya.
Go Kenya.
So we're so excited because, being in a partnership, you really have to invest in the partnership. And like Shamika said, we have to invest in going over to the continent because I think it's so important. Storytelling to me is so important. I want you guys to see how the jewelry is made. Do y'all see this piece on my neck? I want you guys to see how the jewelry is made. I want you guys to feel how the artisans are working. I want you to feel the energy in the room. So we want you to feel it. And it's so important that we tell this story accurately so that when you're buying this jewelry, you understand what went into it. You understand the hard work and dedication that went into it. And not only do you understand that, you understand the lives that you're changing when you buy it. So we're definitely going to the continent. We're going to share the journey. So make sure, we put in some inserts on y'all cheers. So if y'all can scan the QR code, so that way y'all can follow along the journey and y'all can sign up to the newsletter so when the jewelry do drop, you can have first exclusive access to it. But yeah, we're so excited.
And it's also important for us to show the world that Nairobi is an incredibly beautiful place. And there are so many aspects to Nairobi and to Kenya that you don't see. Like, a lot of people don't get a chance to see that. If you ever look at the Diani Beach and you look at images, you would think that's what the world is marketing as the Maldives. No, that's Diani Beach. Like, there's so many beautiful aspects of this country that we want to show you guys. We want you to experience. And there's nothing like being able to have a piece of jewelry that was completely made by someone's hand. The time that goes into that craftsmanship, it's impeccable. So you guys come with us on the journey on social. We're off to Kenya. We're getting our passports stamped.
We're getting them stamped.
All
We're
the
ready.
visas, everything. So we want you guys to come and join us on that journey where you can see the products being made.
I want to just remind everyone, not just for this stage, but for everywhere we go, you know, if we can see it, we can be it. Exposure is everything. So these journeys are about exposure, exposing us to Shamika's background, Milan's background, and how there's not a competition in the backgrounds, but a collaboration in that background. We all have something to do together and value to add. So I'm gonna leave the audience with one tactical question, because I want them to have this and go do something with it. If you had $3,000, because we know Milan just said we got to invest, right? But everybody doesn't have an unlimited budget to invest. So if you had $3,000 to invest in a marketing campaign or budget, what would you do to leave them with something to go do in their brands?
So what's funny is, I think a lot of founders out there can appreciate the fact that she said $3,000. We all have our $3 million budget dreams and what we would do. But the reality is sometimes we don't have $3 million to spend on marketing. So to get very tactical, if I had $3,000 and that's all I had for marketing for an entire year, I would actually break that up into two chunks. I would first spend $1,000 on digital marketing, but I would only run ads with a $5 budget. And the reason why I would do that is because I want to see, am I solving a consumer's need with my product? Who is my exact target market, and are they willing to buy? I would run probably about 20 to 30 different creative tests. You can use AI for this. You do not have to be an incredible creative, but I would run a variety of tests on that $1,000 in order to say, is my audience responding? The other $2,000, I'm going to find, you know your brand, and you know that there are stores that align with your brand. So if you have a brand today and you're not talking to Nordstrom, Neiman Marcus, I mean, even places like, go into your local mall, there are stores that align with your brand that don't have traffic. So I would negotiate deals with each of those stores to do a trunk show in their store for free in order to sell my product to the people who are passing by their store. That doesn't cost you anything at all other than the hustle.
Right.
So it's gonna take some time to do that. And then I would also make sure that I'm going to all of my local markets, the local pop-ups. That's where I would invest, because at the end of the day, you have to make sure somebody wants to buy your product. A couple of years ago, you could sell anything because everybody had money. Money was flowing. In this economy, people are like, what problem does your product solve? And if you can figure that out and you figure out where to put it, you're golden. But there are stores in malls that are having trouble, so you can negotiate deals with them to do a trunk show in their store for free, use their real estate in order to sell your product. So that's what I would do with the other 2,000.
Well, speaking of golden, that was a golden nugget. I really appreciate that. And I want everybody in the audience to give a hand to the two of these ladies for their partnership, their focus on profit and collaboration. And I want each of you to take that spirit with you. Today is the last day of festival, but it's not the last day of our lives, right? So continue to live on in the spirit of partnership and joy with one another. We love us. Make sure you head over to the SOKO booth.
Actually, Milan, how would you spend that $3,000?
Let's do it.
Okay, how would I spend the $3,000? So I would definitely do the $1,000 digital strategy for sure. Running those ads, that was a gem. I hope y'all took notes on that, gem. But what I would do is, so I would do the $1,000 for the digital strategy. I would spend $800 on content creation. And with the content creation, I would figure out what is my story. Like, what do I want people to feel when they purchase this product? Because I feel like that's the most important thing, giving them a feeling. And once I create that content, I would use that content and I would use that to run the ads with. Then I would spend $500 to $1,000 to give to some micro influencers. So, hey, I got this amazing product. I would see who aligns with my brand. And when I say micro influencers, Those are influencers that have under 10,000 followers. So they have an audience. You got to look at their engagement. It's people asking them different questions about when they post things. So I would look for those type of people, and I would see if I can give you $100 to post or to send my product to you. And then I would go grassroots. I would start printing out flyers and business cards and go put it on people's chairs like we just did today. So that's how I would do if I had $3,000.
All right. Well, I appreciate you both, ladies. Clap it up. Thank you so much for sharing the stage, giving us all these golden nuggets. And everybody, make sure you go over to the SOKO booth to our right here. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Woo.